sound check. All right, cool. So yes, today's the last session. I hope you guys are quite excited about it. And also, we're going to be going over Kahoot today, a bunch of multiple choice questions. It's going to be a fun game. So as usual, before our session starts, there's going to be a poll that will be coming up on your screen right now. Make sure you guys put down your answers real quick. One more minute, and then I'll be closing the poll. All right, cool. So just a quick reminder for you all that after today's session, there's going to be a presentation by another club that's called Zeus from the University of Calgary. So yeah, it's going to be from 7:30 after this session. So without wasting any more time, let's go on for today's session. Are you guys able to see my screen? All right. So today's session, we're going to be going over another application of software engineering and drawing from text prompts. And obviously, it's going to be about Kahoot mainly. And then afterwards, you guys will have some time to work on your own projects and discuss any confusions that you have with your mentors in the breakout rooms. So the California-based company OpenAI has trained a neural network, a type of computing system that's called a DALL-E, which can draw images from text captions. So DALL-E is a 12 billion parameter version of another OpenAI model, which generates images from text descriptions using a data set of text image pairs. So as you can see on the right, that these are the results from the text from an avocado in a wizard hat skating on ice. So it's a practical application of AI, artificial intelligence, and also you guys can learn about more about their project in the link that's given in the slides. So the capabilities of the DALL-E are incredible in the face of bizarre and unusual prompts. The software demonstrates to researchers that manipulating visual to language is possible. So it's another huge achievement and a major significant project, and it also has got an API that you guys can use later on when you learn more about programming. Moving on, we're going to be going into Kahoot. So for those who haven't played Kahoot before, Kahoot is basically a fun step game where you guys will be having a bunch of multiple choice questions and some options to choose from. And then eventually there will be the top 3 winners from 2 different categories, the blockbusters and the Pythonic lavas. So it will cover everything we have learned so far, and the top 3 scores in each group will receive the Ignite points. So this is very important. Please give attention to this because whenever you guys will be entering your names in the Kahoot game, so make sure you follow this convention. First, you have to write your first name and then the initial of your last name, and then most importantly, which group you belong to. Either is it Blockbusters or is it Pythonic Lava? So make sure you all have to follow this convention whenever you are actually signing up for the Kahoot game. Because it's really important. So since there will be 2 categories, one for the blockbusters and one for the Pythonic lavas, and there will be 3 winners from each category. All right, so let's go over it. I'm gonna get the game pin very soon. So this is the game pin. So go to this website, www.kahoot.it, and then put on this game pin. And whenever you're entering your name, make sure that you guys use that convention that's been shown. That's first name, last name, initial, and then your group. If you guys are having any problem, just make sure that you guys talk to your mentors about it. I'm gonna wait till everyone actually joins. Everyone. Is there anyone who hasn't been able to join the game? All right, so we'll start right now, and I hope all of you guys have joined the game. Is there anyone left? Just quickly mention in the chat, so I'll wait. Right page. All right, then we have in total 24 participants for today. Okay, let's start. 25. You guys can see the question coming up on the screen. All right, so the correct answer was left. Let's have a look. So there's a variable that's been defined, x equals to 50, and then we go over and we declare it to be a global variable. Instead of the draw function, we actually decrease it in each and every single rotation. So it says which direction will the circle appear to move. So the background is white, okay? And then we actually put the x. So every single time you see that the x is decreasing, and every single, so it's from 50, it's going to 49, 48. So it's actually going to the left in the x-axis. So if anything goes to the left, it becomes more negative. So that's the reason why the answer is left. All right. So good job, Riley. Next, the quiz two. What does the following code print? Okay, so actually, let's go over it real quick. The answer is Z. It's because x equals to 3, y equals to 4, z equals to whatever the calculation is. Whenever we look at the print command, you see that z is inside of the double quotation. So anything inside of the double quotation means it's a string. So that is the reason why z is being printed out. Instead of, many of you guys probably have given 13. It would have printed out 13 if there weren't any string quotations. At that time, it would have printed out integer, but now it's printing out a string. So that's the reason that is the correct answer. Okay, so we have got some new people coming up in the chairs. Next, why will the circle not move across the screen? So this is the code, and let's go over it real quick. Okay, so the correct answer is x is outside the scope of draw. So as you can see in the setup function, we declared x. However, we did not declare x inside of the draw function. So the x is only part of the setup function. So it's not a global variable. So we cannot use a local variable inside of a local variable of setup function inside of the draw function. So since it is not a global variable, that is the reason this circle will not move across the screen. So the answer is x is outside the scope of draw. Okay, now let's go to the next question. What will this code do? Okay, so create a circle that doesn't move. Okay, let's actually see. So first we're going with the variable x, and then we're defining the size, the window size, and we're declaring x to be global. And then what we are doing over here is we're giving a background style and a fill style. So x, for x, we initialize a value of 50, and then every single time we increment it by 5, so it's become 55. So we can see the x and the y. So the x does increase, x coordinate increase, and the point stays to the same. Like the third parameter, it's in the same position, so it increases. However, it does not actually move to any other place. So that's the reason why the answer is create a circle that doesn't move. Next, go on. What color will the background be for this code? Now this is about if and if else condition. So you guys don't have to hurry in giving out your answers because there is a minute time. So take your time and think about it and then put in the answers. Yeah. So let's go over it. So first we define a Boolean variable flag and we set it to be true. We define the window. If it is not true or if not flag, which means if not true, which is basically false, then it should be blue. And if it is true, the background is going to be red. So, and we know that flag is equals to true. So that is the reason we are getting the background to be red, and red is the correct answer. Hussein is still in the first spot. Good luck, Hussein. What will be the following program input? Following program print. This is also again part of the conditional statement. All right, so 30 is the correct answer. So we define x to be 10 if x is greater than 0. We increment it by 10 if x is greater than 50. 15, what we do is increment by 10. So over here, as you can see that first, when we if x is greater than 0, what we do is we increment it by 10. So 10 plus 10, it becomes 20. And then now the current value of x is 20 over here. So 20 is greater than 15. So since it is greater than 15, we add another 10 to it, and finally it becomes 30. That is the reason why 30 is the correct answer. All right, let's go for the next question. What will the following program print out? So this program is this code is related to list and for loops, and also conditional statements, which are if statements. Okay, so let's go over it. So over here we have a list of numbers 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, and we initialize total to be 0. And then we go over the numbers list for I in numbers. We increment total. So first we add 10, we add 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, and then if we see that the total is less than 70, what we basically do is print I. So as you can see, so you can see that when we add 10 with when we add 20 with 10, okay, it becomes 30, and then we also when we add 30, it becomes 60, and we cannot add uh, we, we cannot add 40, because if we add 40, it's going to be greater than 70. At that time, we'll not be able to print out anything. So then we check if 60 is less than 70, and then we print out those three values which were added with the total. And yeah, that is the reason why 10, 20, and 30 is the answer for this question. Are you guys able to hear me? Or should I go a bit louder? All right. What color will be the circle be if only the mouse is held down? So this question is about the mouse underscore keys underscore pressed function that we've learned. So take your time and put in the answer real quick. Okay, so many of you guys got the correct answer. Let's say it's going to be green. So the question says, what color will be the color if only the mouse is held down? Okay, so first we check if keys held. So we don't have to see whether if there is a keys pressed or not. We only have to see if the mouse is pressed or not. So elif condition, it says again that the keys are held or not. We don't have to look at that. We go to the next instruction that says whether the mouse is pressed or not. Yes, it is pressed, and whenever it's pressed, we see that the output would be green. That is the reason why green is the correct answer. We'll be moving on to our ninth question. What will the width and height of the rectangle be? This question is about list and using the rect function that we've learned from the beginning sessions, the parameters that it has. Okay, so 30 and 20, let's see why. Over here, these are the two lists of widths and heights. The rect, the function, it says widths up to. So 0, 1, 2, 0 is 10, 1 is 20, 2 is 30. So width over here, instead of widths up to, it will be 30. And heights of 3, it will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it will be 20. So the answer is width equals to 30 and height equals to 20. All right, we're halfway there. Let's move on to the 10th question. What will be printed out by this code? All right, so the correct answer is 51, 51, 72, 100. So over here you can see first x of 1, which is basically 100, was equals to y of 4. Oh, what we are getting over here is was equals to every single time it will be y of 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 40. So 100 plus 40 will be 0, 4, 2 would be 0, 2. Okay, so we are actually replacing the index values of x of 1 and x of 2. So what we are doing is x of 1 is currently 0, 100, and we are adding y of 4 to it. So y of 4 means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So y of 4 is 50. So 100 plus 50 is basically 150. So 100 will be replaced by 150. And then x of 2 basically means 150. And with 150, we are adding y of 1. Y of 1 means 0 and 1, which is 20. So 150 plus 20 would be 170. So 150 would be replaced by 170 in the second index over here. So eventually, the values in the list x would be 50, 150, 170, and 200. So that is the reason it's the correct answer. All right. Fill in the blank to make a circle in the middle of the screen with a diameter of 50. This should be quite easy. With it. Okay, so the correct answer is 50, 100, 150. Um, we go with the regular setup function over here, and then we give the size to be 200, 200, and then values of 1, values of 2, and values of 3. The question was, fill in the blank to make a circle in the middle of the screen with the diameter of 50. Okay, so for that, let's think of this area over here. Suppose we have the option 50, 100, 150. So why that is the correct answer? Because values of 1, okay, if you take that, it's going to be 100, 0 and 1. And then values of 2, it's also going to be the 100. So the x coordinate and the y coordinate will be 100, 100, and 50 is the 0, 1, 2, 3, and 50 would be the center value. So that is the reason. So it will be the diameter, and x and y would be having 100 and 100. So the x and y coordinate. So that is the reason why it's in the middle of the screen. So yeah, that's the correct answer. Moving on, we're going towards the 12th question. What will the following code print out? All right, so let's go over it. The As you can see, first we have the shopping list with this following values. We are appending apples, so apples will be added beside limes, and then we are replacing list index 3 with lemons. So we basically are replacing 0, 1, 2, 3 limes with lemons, and then we are removing tomatoes. We're removing tomatoes from there, so mushrooms, lemons, and apples will be shifting to the left since tomatoes have been removed, and then we're printing out shopping underscore list of 3. So over here, as you can see, since tomatoes is cut off, mushrooms would be index of 1, lemon would be index of 2, and apples would be index of 3. That is the reason why apples is the correct answer. Let's move on. Also another coding question. This is about for loops and list. Answer real quick. Okay, so many of you guys did get the correct answer. It's answer 7. So we have the list 1, 2, 3, 1. Result has been initialized to 0 for any number. So result plus equals to n. So we basically add all the values over here. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 3 is 6. And 6 plus 1 is 7. And that is the reason why the answer is 7. Good job, guys. Moving on. This is another coding question. Okay, so here, as you can see, we have two lists, length and width. Again, result has been initialized to 0. And this time, what we are doing is we are calculating uh, we are calculating the length, basically the area, and how we are doing that by multiplying length with length and width. So over here, as you can see, we are taking length of I. So we are taking each and every single index values and with the width of I as well. So first, for the first iteration, we are taking 10 from length and we are taking 2 from width. So it's going to be 10 into 2, it's 20, and 0 is added with 20 is added with 0, and then the current value of result is 20, and then we take 5 and 10, it's 50, so we add 50 more, which is 70, and then again we add 1 into 50, which becomes eventually 50, and then with 70, when we add 50, it becomes 120, and finally we print out the result, it's 120. Okay, so 6 more questions to go. Uh, if the x location of the mouse is 125, how many circles will be drawn on the screen? So this is a question about while loop. So take your time and put down the answer. Okay, so let's go over it. It says that whenever if the value of mouse underscored x is 125, okay? So over here we have initialized x to be 100. So while the value of x, which is while 100 is not equals to 125, then we are going to draw a circle with this value of x. So 100, 110, and then again we increment it by 20. At that time the value of x would be 120 instead of 100, and then 120 is not equals to 125, and then again we are going to draw a circle. So as you can see that every single time we're increasing the value of x by 20, so it's never going to be possible for the value of x to be equal to the value of mouse underscore x. That is the reason why this loop will continue and there will be infinite number of circles. And that is the reason infinite is the correct answer. Okay. Another coding question, what will the following code print out? This is with list, with while loop. All right, so The correct answer is 0. Let's see why that's the correct answer. So we have the numbers list 3, 4, 6, 1, 2, 0, 5, 7. We initialize I to be 1. And then while I is greater than 0, 1 is greater than 0, I equals to numbers of I. So what we're going to do over here, so I will be equals to numbers of I. Okay. So the value of 1 would be will be 3. And then we're going to, 1 second. I will be numbers of I. It will be 3, 4, 5. So all of these values are greater than 0. Okay. Oh, okay. So yeah, this loop will continue, and every single time the value of I will be replaced. Whenever the value 0 comes up, you see that the condition is false, and the loop breaks, and at that time the value of I is printed, so 0 will be printed over here. There's a reason why 0 is the correct answer. Moving on, we're almost there. What will be returned if we call a function with the number 4? Okay, so uh, we call the parameter 4 to replace the text number. So what it does is that number plus equals to 2. So it should be 6. 4 plus 2 would be 6. And then we return 6 divided by 3. And the answer is 2. So that's the reason why 2 is the correct answer. And go. Another coding question. This is about multiple functions. All right, so uh, as you can see, we have the setup function, and over here we are calling another function that's part underscore 1, which we are defining over here. So it says we are passing in the values 1 and 2. So instead of A, it will be 1, instead of B, it will be 2. So answer would be part underscore 2 of A plus B. So part underscore 2 of A plus B, which will be 3. So what we are doing in part underscore 2 is that we are multiplying uh, the parameter C with 2, okay? So 3 will be multiplied with 6, and this will be returned. And yes, and this will be returned over here first, and then this answer will be returned to the setup function, and we will eventually print it out. So that is the reason we are getting the value 6 to be the correct answer. All right, we're in the second last question. What is missing in this function for it to actually work? It's a very simple one. All right, so it's pretty easy, and because you can see that over here we need to pass both the parameters in order to actually calculate this sum over here a plus b. So it will be that b, the parameter b was missing for this function. So we are at the last question. Okay. You have to figure out what is wrong with the following piece of code. Okay. Um, as you can see over here, in order this function over here, you can see that the minus code function it says. So it's being called inside of the setup function with with these values which are replacing the parameters a, b, c. So it is not actually returning any value. Instead, it's actually storing the calculation part inside of the return underscore value. So unless until we return the value from the my underscore function, the setup function will not be printing out the value. Okay. So yeah, the problem was that the my underscore function did not return anything. So that is the end. And third position is Ahmed. Second position is Morris. And first position is the same. Congratulations to you all. All right. Now I'm gonna say like who've been the winners according to the group wise, Iconic Lavas and Blockbusters. All right, so Hussein from Blockbusters is in the first position, and then Ahmed is in the second position from Blockbusters, and Riley is in third position. And from Pythonic Lavas, Mars, and then followed by Advik, and then it's Riashna. So congratulations to you guys, and you guys did really great in this Kahoot exercise. So we'll be moving on with our regular slides over here. So now you guys actually can work on your projects by discussing it with your mentors. If you guys have any problems, you guys will be sent to breakout rooms. And just a quick reminder again that for the project, make sure the deadline is December 8th, 12 p.m. And these are the categories based on which you guys will, your projects will be marked. And you can submit as many projects as you like till the deadline. And in order to actually download your code, when you go to the Jupyter Notebook server that we use, just go to files and then click on download, and then your code will be downloaded. And yes, you can see over here the rubric and the category, and the submission form is also over there for the Bugbusters and also for the Pythonic Lavas. And these are some of the inspirations that you guys can take in order to make your own projects. These are over here. You guys will be able to find it in the slides. And yeah, you guys will be sent out to breakout rooms right now, and we'll meet again at 7:25